Good afternoon. My name is Brian Makris, and I'm here with Rick Matters. I am the president and CEO of Home Choice Lending, and today I have a good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, Tyler Shea, who's a local guy. Tyler, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
So, Tyler, tell me, where'd you grow up, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I grew up actually here in Bedford. Moved up from Norfolk, Massachusetts in 1991, 92, but
Nice.
yeah.
So you've been here for a while.
Been here for a long time. My mom actually just recently sold a home in Bedford,
Nice.
Pembroke Way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know where it is. Great houses over there.
Yeah, and moved up here when I was about 10. Then went to Trinity High School in Manchester,
Got it.
and then off to Phillips Exeter Academy for a year, and
Wow.
then Williams College, and
Wow.
played football out there and the whole thing, which
Nice.
was awesome.
Nice.
But where you and I came to know each other was the cigar shop that I
Yeah.
had here in Bedford for
Blowing
10
smoke,
years.
man. Blowing smoke. I mean, I've run into celebrities in that location.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
And who else?
Yeah, senators would come in, congressmen would come in. That's a cool little staple there. So you were one of the partners that kind of got that thing up and running.
Yeah, family-run business. So myself, my mother, my brother opened it up, and yeah, man, my time there was invaluable. It's the relationships that I look back on now
Yeah,
that I'm able to utilize, I would say, and just make part
Yeah.
of my everyday life. Dude, I'm so grateful for the people, and the purpose of the shop when we first got going was obviously to make money and hopefully
Sure.
have multiple of them and create multiple blow and smoke type experiences everywhere. And we surely did it though with that spot, as honestly
that
evidence.
became a hub. We would bring in our sales guys, and after a sales meeting, we'd roll into that place. We'd come in with like 12 of us or 10 of us, and we'd take over the whole place. And I'd always see you there, I'd see your partner there,
Sure.
and we'd hang out and have a cigar and talk business and world and golf and football and
Wow.
and
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness, 100%, man, 100%. So and you have 3 children.
Yeah, 3 kids now. I have Charlotte, who is, she just turned 8. Mackenzie's going to be turning 6, and my boy Rowan just turned 2. So the 3 kids, actually, Charlotte, we've got some great cigar shop pictures of Charlotte as a baby in the cigar shop.
Nice.
On the big leather chairs with like all the boys there, and actually some of the gals that used to come in. But it was, which was really cool. Those guys last year, I played in a golf league with all the blown smoke. It's now Castro's, which is awesome. Eric's done an incredible job with the place, and the core of the people, and it's all
It feels the same when you're in there.
It's awesome. He's even added to the decor, and it's awesome. It's fun, but to be able to play golf with those guys, and that many years later now, man, when they saw Charlotte, whatever, and you see right, and then that it really hit me last year that I was like, for whatever the business. Everything was, and you have your ups and downs, but to see that I could then go play with 20 of those guys, whatever,
from the connections you made,
just hang and then go have a cigar. I brought my laptop I was going to write some business with the guys at my shop, and I'm walking up the old pathway that I used to walk up with my laptop for blowing smoke, and then Eric was there, and I went and put my arm around him. I was like, I think I may have got more work done here in the last couple of days than I did in 10 years I owned the place.
I love it.
Yeah, but it was good.
So you've done a little life transition here. You are now fully licensed for property and casualty, and you're with one of the largest insurance companies out there, State Farm.
Yeah.
Tell me what brought you to State Farm, and tell me what how did you get to that path, and who your partner is at work, and who do you work with over there?
Yeah, really. It's interesting. I would say some qualifying events I would say happened, but come August of just this past year, I had been in the recruiting business for about 10 years, and had really found some success, I would say, both in finding myself a bit again in my leadership abilities, and then abilities to make money.
Sure.
But I found that wasn't everything at the end for me that I was necessarily seeking, given what was going on with me in my life, and just there was an overall sense of like, hey, it might be time to shift gears here. And I was recruiting for a long time with a great company, Patrick Shea, who now owns the State Farm, who I'm with. Patrick was the director at my old company. that
Oh,
I was
no
in.
kidding.
So I grew up, I would say, from blowing smoke, right?
Yeah.
Leaving, selling that. When you're a young kid and you then sell a business that you've been in for 10 years, you really don't really think you know much. And
Yeah.
you're probably I was about right in my assessment of me. Yeah, I knew maybe how to run a scale. I knew people, and there's a lot now that I can see that I've learned and appreciate. But really, I was kind of a shell of myself, I would say, after selling the business.
So sometimes a little bit of a fish out of water, trying to figure out what my next direction is, what my path is. I've got some free time on my hands.
I mean, I spent time with you. I spent time with a lot of folks, just chatting up, trying to figure, what are the next steps. And often what I find is, the answer does come from yourself. You got to turn inward and say, listen, this is going to fall on you. But so that's what I was able to actually do in August. I said, what do you want to do? And I actually took a little bit of time off. I played some golf, which was nice.
Yeah.
But then I knew Patrick Shea was starting the State Farm agency. So I had been removed from where I was working with Patrick for about a year. I took a bigger job with more pay and all that.
Yeah.
That didn't bring any more satisfaction, let's say.
Right.
And Patrick, unbeknownst to me, had kind of fallen into a similar spot. He was looking for his next play, and I heard he was considering opening up or wanting to open up a State Farm agency. And he had made those steps to do that. So I reached out to him probably middle of August and wanted to see what this thing was all about and where could it go.
So then you started the
So
tough licensing.
Yeah,
you got
licensing
licensed.
process. Yeah.
I know that. I started my sales career with Liberty Mutual back in the day, so I got a ton of great sales. I'm very familiar with the property and casualty, and also I know State Farm. I think everybody looks up to State Farm as it's probably just one of the well-run companies out there, all individually owned franchises, to the best of my knowledge. And they're just a great company. They're huge. They're massive. So it's a great company to be with. So when you work now that you're licensed, all right, what's a typical customer for you that comes in the door? What are you helping people with?
We from anything to new cars or pre-existing cars or homes or boats, motorcycles.
So motorcycle,
anything, yeah.
So if you need insurance, how about a four-wheeler? If I have a four-wheeler, can I insure it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I have a good friend of mine. His snowmobiles. He was like, "What do I need to insure this thing for? It's a piece of junk." But I'm like, "Bud, you crash into a kid on a snowmobile trail.
Liability.
Like, that's a big chunk of change."
Correct. Okay,
so that stuff's really good. And,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, Brian, even when you say what's a normal customer like, I think that's the greatest. What I love about this job the most, honestly, is folks coming in off the street. You have no idea,
Right.
And that's like everything,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't know that some guy might. A funny story. One of Patrick's first customers was some dude who came in. And he was like, "Hey, I need insurance today in a car." And Pat's like, "Oh, I get my license tomorrow, so yeah, we can definitely ride." He's like, "I need it today." And he's like, "Oh, I wish I could help you." He's like, "What's the car?" Just out of curiosity. He goes, "It's a Lamborghini." And Pat was like, "Oh, hold on, let's see how we can make this work." You don't know this guy. And, he ends up owning multiple businesses. And he's a wicked sweet guy, and he's been helpful, and that's the cool stuff. And people, the really neat thing about State Farm, and we were talking about before we started the podcast, is just that you can have those moments with people. And I understand, I see the simplicity now being in the business of insurance, that you really can go ahead, file your claim, and perhaps get paid. But when that doesn't go all that smoothly, and I see how hard it is now to actually get people on the phone from any company that exists out there now,
terrible.
It's like, wow, that's really cool that folks can get a hold of us, chat with us, and we have an understanding of what's going on, and because we wrote the policies from the beginning. We knew what the deal was and what's going. So that's a really unique thing that I do love about the business is, like you said, what kind of customer comes off the street, and it's like, it can be anything. And then the people that you talk to, the people in Pelham have been awesome. Really neat town.
So are you licensed in just New Hampshire and you handle the whole state, or is it more just a territory? Are you just Pelham and
all New Hampshire? Yep, we go everywhere. Actually, I love driving to appointments. I'll find a lot of folks that I can have great conversations with, or maybe areas that aren't as populated.
Sure. Do you do face-to-face
I
appointments?
love to, yeah.
Do you do
100%.
anything by just if they want to do it over the phone? You can do it over the phone, and then if they're like, hey, listen, I'm with this XYZ company, I've been there 10 years. Can they just call you and say, hey, here's a picture of my auto policy and with the VIN numbers so you can actually see what the safety features are, and here's a picture of my home policy. Can you just tell me if it's worthwhile to make a switch? And you can do that?
100%. And honestly, the way, like, the simplicity of running quotes now is just that. You know, you have to authorize me to get your VIN, your date of birth, your license number is very, very helpful.
And you can do that right over the phone.
Yeah,
And give me kind of turn times. If I gave you all my stuff at 10 a.m., okay, am I thinking it's 5 days, 4 days before I hear back about numbers? Is it 3 days?
Oh, I would say by 11 a.m. if I'm not too busy. I should have an answer for you.
Okay, so
it's realistically, yeah. By a day,
technology's that good.
Technology's great. The quotes, the numbers come out. You know, there's some variation if we didn't together put in all the correct info. You know, sometimes
garbage in, garbage out.
100%,
yeah. So
I forgot about that ticket. It's like, it says here reckless driving. That's 9 points, not 3.
Things are going to change a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So if somebody just wants to get a quote, wants to get a comparison, make sure they have the right coverage, because coverage is key. And sometimes going from 100, 300, 100 to go to 250, 500, whatever the next one is.
Sure. You're right.
These are my old days of digging out Liberty Mutual days, but. That's really easy to do. It's not really expensive to make those adjustments. You can tailor a policy to exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, and we're really, honestly, the group of folks, and there was a reason I joined on with Patrick, because I know the man and I know his purpose, and we want to be successful, but that success isn't just in terms of dollars. Of course that stuff is nice.
You're not a nonprofit.
No, man, right. We got to get paid, but you really are there to help. When you talk about people coming in, you're there to help the community. Like, what's important to them?
Right.
I don't have to tell you what's important to you. You tell me.
So do you guys do any business insurance, or is it all just residential?
We do business. I know Pat actually recently has been writing a little bit, so it's been newer territory, I would say, for us to crawl into, just because I know State Farm is... they have their parameters of what you have to work around in the business space. So when we first started going, we were ready to insure anybody. A dynamite company, no, apparently that's usually not going.
Yeah, fireworks, they're going to be risky.
Exactly.
So
it's okay. We're learning that, but it's been that part's been cool too. That we've been able to kind of we grow and learn, and we have great leadership at State Farm as well. They're constantly in contact with you in the meetings and just helping out, improving your processes and moving it along. It's good.
Nice. Last question. So auto insurance, no problem. Home insurance, no problem. If you want a snowmobile or a dirt bike or a four-wheeler, you can handle that as well. Boat insurance is easy as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's auto home. Now, you said off camera you're not currently licensed with life insurance, but Patrick in your office does offer it. It is part of your branch, and you do have the ability to offer that as a product?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Life insurance is something, like you said, I'm not currently licensed for. Working on it. One of the things that we need to get redone. I used to be. Yeah,
you told me you were licensed, and then you let the license go, and now you're getting back into the side of the world.
I had it for a brief period of time, and life insurance is something back in the cigar shop. Speaking of great folks, I had a gentleman get me going on some whole life policies when I was just 23 or 24, so there was no physical, I was just golden, rock and roll, and we kept adding to that as time went on. Ultimately, I became in a situation where I couldn't quite afford what I had in there, so a bit more guidance probably or knowledge on my end would have been helpful. But hey, I was young and I'm still have some of those in force, which is great.
Nice.
But I think a bit more proper understanding of it would behoove me certainly. So when I look at it now, being a 40-year-old who, quite honestly, has had not the greatest lifestyle over, I would say.
You lived in blowing smoke.
6 years. Well, I'll be 6 years clean off alcohol come June.
Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah.
Good for you, man. Congratulations.
Good. Yeah. And I was 300. I would say over 300 pounds for the last 17 years or so of my life. I would say, and tied into the life insurance thing, and is really important to me that I think people understand and just think about. I do have 3 kids. I am 40 years old. I still chew tobacco. I still smoke cigars. Patrick just got a term insurance policy out on me, and I think it's about 100 or 125K. It's not a huge amount, but I'll tell you, it will bury me, and it will give my children a little bit of funds in case something were to happen to me, to keep their life in some sort of, the price came back at something around $42 or $43 or something a month. Right?
And that's for you personally.
And that's for a guy who, for the last 17 years, has carried over 100 excess pounds of weight and was a raging alcoholic. Not a healthy lifestyle. So I'm not saying that will be that way for everyone, but the excuse of, I can't afford it, and I'm too whatever, like that thing I think needs to start being broken down, because the amount of money when we look at now, let's say it's $50, $60, $70 a month to get you, even if it's 100K. Right. You know, what does it cost to bury you now? 25?
Yeah.
And then
I don't know, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
But it's important, I would say, just for kids too. For anyone, just to take care of yourself, have this on yourself, and not be the myth. So
somebody who hasn't lived the healthiest lifestyle, lived in a smoke shop, still chews tobacco, it's still affordable, and you're in your 40s now.
I just turned 40.
Just turned 40, so you're in your 40s.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I think
so it's still
worth
affordable.
Considering and looking at. That's what it is. Just like when you run the car insurance, like don't be afraid to say, I should have that.
Sure.
Shop your stuff like you would anything else. You would you do it for milk brands or whatever else you do.
So to keep us compliant, you're not officially licensed in it yet, but they can call you and you can connect them with Patrick.
Exactly.
And Patrick in your office is auto, home, and life insurance.
That's awesome.
But they can help you with this. They can get it done, and you can help point them in the right direction.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing right now. Patrick's fully licensed. We've been setting up a bunch of appointments, and the response has been great. I think folks are. This conversation's happening more and more. I think COVID-19, I think, really should have shown a light on a lot of things as far as we are all quite vulnerable.
We're not invincible. I'm not Superman.
When we say in the office all the time, there's, you talk to folks, they'll insure their cars, no doubt. Like, of course I have my house and my car is insured, yada yada, but life insurance, no. One thing we do know, I get it.
I get it. At the end of the day, I'm like, all right, I got taxes. These are things that you have to do. Okay, they are. I'm a believer in it. I have it. I could always use more. It would help my family during the transition time of an untimely death. It is a very important piece of the puzzle. So for people out there that have been with the same company for a long time, this would be the guy. Give him a call. He's at State Farm. His name's Tyler Shea. He's a local guy. He's been here since like 1991. I've known him forever. I've met celebrities in his old blowing smoke shop. So Tyler, first of all, I cherish our friendship. So thank you for being there. He also helped him with financing a decade-ish ago when he bought his house.
He did.
With a pool in the backyard.
I can say to everybody at Home Choice, or anybody considering Brian in this group, like, there's not a guy who will work harder and for you that I've never met. I mean, that's a joke. You say our friendship. Brian's been there for me for some pretty significant moments. So, I
appreciate that.
You work hard, and it's admirable, and people in good hands with you for sure. But be ready to get your stuff done, because the man's going to push you.
I am.
Get ready to rock.
So if you're out there, their Pelham covers the whole street or the whole state.
Call me anytime. You got my cell phone on there. I love to chat with folks.
Text is okay. They can drop you a text and say, hey. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Conversation. So even if it's to reach out, you know how it works.
I love it. Or to say, hey, I was in Blowing Smoke. I know you. I've been there.
You want to have a cigar?
Yeah. Love it. So thanks for coming in today, Tyler.
Thanks,
I appreciate it.
It's awesome. Thank you.